We are live. This is Travis from Carter Capital, helping you fight for your financial freedom throughout the Forex and trading market. I hope everybody's doing very well on this Wednesday morning. Hope everybody ended up having a pretty good trading day. When it came down to everything that ended up happening overall for the movement and all the other stuff, pretty much didn't find, well, end up getting into a Japanese yen trade last night. Did not like the market basically making a new higher high, and based off of that new higher high, I ended up getting out of that literally just about a few seconds ago. But we'll talk about all of that plus more as I go through. Let me go ahead and get through the disclaimer, and then after that, we'll go ahead and get started talking. So here we go. I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or whether to sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from that education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. Now, understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk that in being able to make money, also involves risk being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind, and understand that past performance is not indicative of future results, which means that if you end up making money yesterday, it is not promised that you end up making money today. So with that being said, I'm going to show myself onto the screen. I hope everybody's doing very well. I need to turn on my lighting to be able to make sure everything is good. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Bam. There we go. Hope everybody's doing very well. Kind of weird not having a watch on. Hope everybody's doing very well. This is my name is Travis. I am a I've been trading for like 6 years at this particular point. What we do here is a 30-minute session where we end up going through and taking a look at each and every trading opportunity that we end up doing for us. The NASDAQ, for us Bitcoin, for us Forex pairs, for us indices, for us gold, and I already said Bitcoin, and anything else that y'all want to be able to take a look at. Obviously, for the people that are live and being able to go through that stream, you can be able to place in all of that information and be able to go from there. So super excited to be able to talk to everybody. Once again, very appreciative that everyone is in here watching live, or for the people that will be watching live. Always good to be able to talk to you. For the long-term watchers and the people that have been here since I had only 50 people being able to watch, compared to I think we are at 799 as I end up taking a look at this earlier this morning. Literally 799. So I'm looking for that one other person to be able to place it in, be able to get us over the hump when it comes down to those numbers. Uh, I hope everybody's doing very well. Once again, I do appreciate everyone being able to pop in. Let's go through. Let's take a look at what's happening today. Today is a fundamentals day. If you're not familiar with what fundamentals days and traders days are, essentially it's very simple. A fundamentals day is when you end up having three or more high impact news statements that's going to end up happening throughout that day, throughout three different countries. Um, and if you end up having that, then that means that being able to pay attention to what's happening for the news is going to end up being more important, depending on what's actually happening throughout the day and the situations and all that movement from there. So keep that in mind as we go through and take a look at everything that's going on. I want everyone to be very mindful of that as we go through and being able to trade. I'm sorry if I'm looking over to the right. I'm trying to make sure the good old folks on the tube can be able to see everything that we're doing. And right now, it doesn't seem like they are able to at this particular point. Now, um, the last couple days, well, actually, like the last week or so, we have been having a little bit of struggles being able to make sure that everybody can be able to place in their messages, and me being able to see who's actually live. So what I'm going to end up doing is that I'm going to end up placing in these messages that I end up placing in, and obviously, um, for the overall communication. If you want to make sure that I can be able to see your communication, make sure that you end up joining our community Discord. Community Discord is the Trade with Travis Discord. Essentially, what you end up seeing inside of that area obviously ends up having free stuff that you can be able to have, like terminology, chart patterns. It has a public library to where you can be able to learn and get more information from there. But more importantly, that would be the area where especially once we start growing more than where we are right now, especially once we end up getting to 1K and 2K and 5K people here, uh, being able to see your message will probably end up being easier if you end up going through that area. So make sure that you end up doing that, tapping in, and we end up going from there. So I wanted to make sure that I end up placing that out for everyone as well. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let me minimize the screen. I'm gonna refresh on this screen as well to be able to see if there's anybody live. Hope everybody's doing very well. Let's see. Okay, cool. And make sure everybody can be able to see me from here. All right, great. And do that. Okay, so today's gonna be a quick day. Um, I kind of explain why I think today's going to end up being a quick day when it comes down to the information that I'm going to look at. But um, we'll kind of build out. I think more the news, more the information is going to end up being a little bit later on today. I'm just going to say that now, just based off of what I'm looking at for the charts. But we'll go ahead and jump into it right now. Here we go. Big three. Take a look at the United States dollar index. Market is has hit a weekly D extension and starting to try to push up to another weekly D extension at 13,827. Currently, right now, when the market ended up retracing to the 23.6, it ended up hitting the 80-20 rule, because typically if the market ends up retracing to the 38.2, you end up having a cleaner retracement, and then after that, you'll see a little bit more movement. At this particular point, the weekly's in the sell zone. We end up taking a look at the daily. The daily's in the sell zone as well. Essentially, what happens from there is typically a transition trade. If you're not familiar with a transition trade, essentially what it is this. What happens is that typically, if the market ends up breaking down to the downside, you will end up seeing at least 7 to 11 days of overall downside movement, but an explosive downside movement, plus being able to have plus being able to see that this market can be able to move for about 2 to 3 months easily to the downside when it comes down to a full retracement. So right now, am I interested in being able to buy on United States dollar? No. Now, if it breaks a high when it comes down to this consolidation that we end up talking about, if that happens, then the market's going to end up being bullish, and we'll keep on monitoring it. But overall, I'm kind of done on being able to buy on the United States dollar at this particular point. I still believe that the market is at a point to where it might be more bearish than it is bullish when it comes down to movement. Okay, so we can look at it from a 2-hour perspective. We can see that the 2-hour end up bouncing off the support, and then after that, start to push back up. We have a definitely have a support that has been created at this particular point, which is right here. So the number is actually lower than what we looked at yesterday. 13,410. 13,410 is the natural support. We're looking at resistance currently right now. I still am going to end up saying that the natural resistance, or the top of the resistance is at 13,500. I'm going to say 13,550. But currently right now, we can see that the market is still kind of moving within this overall area. It looks like we have a consolidation inside of a consolidation right about here. But until the market ends up breaking to the downside or breaking to the upside on this overall move, I'm not going to be interested in being able to jump in on this pair at all, or jump in on US based pairs at all, until I end up knowing what the actual direction is going to end up being at this particular point. Now, once that happens, then after that, we have a trade to be able to take. We could go ahead and set a pending order at 13,410. I am kind of confident in being able to say if the market drops below that area, then after that, we can see this market start to be able to free run back to 13,275. And then after that, even below that, which would be the natural support right here, 13. What's the support on this one? 13,083. So I am confident in being able to say if the market does break below that area, then we could see the market kind of fall below there. But right now, there's really no movement to be able to take advantage of off of that today. All right, so there we go. That is what I'm looking at off the United States dollar index. Let's talk about oil. When it comes down to oil, currently right now, what are we looking at? Trying to see this market and trying to see if this market is going to end up holding above 83, and it has held above 83. Now, why is that important? I got a lot of stuff that we end up talking about from a weekly perspective. We end up saying that this is making more of a bearish crown, but I wanted to see the market start to push up and try to get back up to that $95 mark. Now, remember, cold months are very important when it comes down to what's happening. Matter of fact, let me keep that. Cold months are very important for oil. Typically, that's when you end up seeing that the prices start to go a little bit higher when it comes down to that movement. So at this particular point, that is what I am kind of paying attention to overall when it comes down to the direction of this. I am looking more bullish than I am bearish off of this movement. Now, it's in a weekly buy zone. I actually end up breaking out of a weekly buy zone, so we have to pay attention to that. From a daily perspective, we end up having a breakout. Typically, when you end up having a breakout, you end up having a retest. This retest was basically right around this overall area. We end up saying 82.94. I mean, 82.96. So 83 will probably be the area where I thought that the market is going to end up having a good retest. Currently, right now, we can see that that's actually starting to happen. From a 2 hour perspective, we end up getting uh, what is this harmonic? I forgot what is that harmonic type of look. That's not a crab, is it? But currently, right now, we're getting this W pattern. I am actually kind of interested in being able to jump in on this one, even though it hasn't broke the counter trend line break. Breaking the counter trend line break will actually be the better conservative answer to be able to do this. Um, I think that I'll probably look at this from a scalping perspective and see if the market could be able to at least be able to get back up to um, even from a scalping perspective, seeing if the market can be able to get back up to 85 as at least a chance of being able to do that. I think that that could potentially end up happening when it comes down to this movement. Uh, I'm going to take a chance on that one. Let's do this. I'm going to take 2 orders. The first order is going to end up being at market, going to end up being at 84.03. Stop loss is going to end up being below 81.60, which is the actual low when it comes down to that movement. Um, See, this would be an entry right here. Uh, this was our warning area. I'll place that orange. Um, Take profit will be at 85.06. Risk reward on this one, let's see what it'll be. 9 points. Yeah, okay, we'll have to do it below this low. It's not a one. It's not even a 1-to-1 if I do it like that. Okay. Will it be able to break those supports? Risk reward is off. I end up doing it that way. I do want to get in, but I got to figure out a better way to be able to have a better stop loss. Okay. Before I jump into that, I want to see this market break out of break above this area. I got to see it break above that area first. So I'm not going to jump in yet, but I do want to get in towards a buy. I'm going to treat that as a consolidation area where it has to be able to break. I can see the market starting to reject off a little bit. I will place in a pending order. Now I'm going to look at being able to place in a pending order off of this one. 84.30 stop loss. Got to make it tighter. 84.30. If it breaks above that area, I'm going to end up placing my stop loss below 81.95. Take profit on this one. 85, if you're trying to scalp, I would say top of resistance 86.50 would probably be the other area. Will be like short term areas for us being able to do it. Long term area, I'm still saying 95. Um, I'm going to let this one kind of play out just a little bit more because the 15 minutes in the sell zone. I want to see I want to see how far the market kind of falls down off of this before being able to jump in. I'm going to come back to this one, but that is something that I am kind of interested in taking a look at. Yeah, I'm going to wait on that one. I'm going to see. I'm going to see what happens off of this one first. Um, but I do need to get it set up real quick. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna set up a pending order to where it can be triggered if I do place it in. I don't want to sit up there and leave here and then not at least have something set up for it if it does happen. Let's see, chart window. People that are inside of the Discord, I'll send a full description of this one when it comes down to this order. Send a full description on this one overall. But what I'm going to end up saying is this: two orders. It's 657. See, pending order will end up being at 84.30. Stop loss 81.95. Take profit will end up being 86.60. That would be the first order. That would be a short-term order if that does happen. Long-term entry, same stop loss, but take profit will end up being 94.60. Or let's say 94.50 just to be safe. They'll give the market a little bit of room, and if it's going to break down, then it won't take us out. It won't place us in the trade yet. But if it does break up and does take us into that position, then we'll be ready to go. So there we go. Two orders on oil. We'll see how everything goes. Even though I would like to be able to get in a little bit earlier, I want to see how the market's going to end up reacting. Obviously, we're deep inside of the sell zone, so may see that this market may reject again, and I don't want to jump in if the market's going to reject again, at least at this point. So I give up about 30 cents to be able to be a little bit more patient on that one. Okay, there we go. Good on that one. Gold, I don't think there's still nothing there. Oh, look. Oh, okay, it broke. Okay, so I did not place a pending order on this one. I said that I was kind of staying away from this one because I didn't know what was going to happen with the United States dollar. Obviously, the dollar is still strong overall. So the original game plan was this: market broke below 1664. We're going after 1615 with a stop loss of 1685. The market went inside of consolidation again, so we ended up canceling out on those orders. I ended up saying that once the market ended up breaking below 1641, I'll be interested in being able to get in because there'll be a free run area. Currently, right now, we are in that free run area. If you're interested in being able to get in on gold, this will kind of be the time to be able to do it. 2 hour is that's a full break. That's a retest. The market has already done broken below that area. So beggars can't be choosers on this one. If you're interested in being able to make a move on this one, entry will be right now at market. Stop loss will end up being, I'll place my stop loss just above this overall candlestick high right here at 1648. I got 1648.12. And take profit will still be 1615. Okay, so gold, if as we go through and we take a look at that, there's another opportunity on gold to be able to take a look at the market going bearish. Now, once again, I'm going back and I'm saying that, hey, I'm placing in an order on gold, even with the thought process that I know that I believe that the United States dollar is getting to a point where it's a little bit overextended. Well, you got to follow what the chart tells you, what tells you what's happening sometimes. Now, I'm going to run a trail stop on this one a little bit more than what I would do with other pairs, but if I'm going to end up taking an order, sometimes you just got to know that it might end up being there. I mean, sometimes you got to know that either you're going to take it and you feel good about it, or just going to stay away. I feel okay with this one. It's a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. I go with a 1% on this trade. We'll see how everything kind of plays out. If it doesn't look like it's working out well, then obviously you can easily be able to get out with a small loss on that one. But there we go. Market order on gold. Taking a trade on that one as well. I'm going to place this one inside of the. I'm going to place this one inside of the Discord real quick so I can hurry up and make sure that everybody has this one. Let me hurry up real quick. Make sure everybody can be able to get that. Let's see. I didn't have a section for metals. Okay. Everyone. Order. Gold. So, stop loss 1648. 12. Take profit 1615. 1615.50. Yes. Hurry up and get this file out for everybody. Bam, there it is. Okay, we're good to go on that. All right, we'll come back to that one, see how well that one does. For the people that are watching live, obviously you end up getting that one as well. So there goes your play right there when it comes down to that movement. Once again, run a trail stop on this one. Be a little bit tighter on this one because I don't know how the market's going to end up reacting a little bit more. But we do know that there's a breakout, there's a retest, and then after that, full move from there. So if it keeps on moving, then we're in a pretty good position. If it kind of bounces back a little bit, then obviously we can be able to make a decision on if we want to be able to do that from there. Let's see. Make sure I end up edit. Should not be everyone. It should be the circle at the foundation at the G. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got those. I got time for 2 more pairs. Let's take a look at what's happening with the indexes real quick. Let's go US 30. And then after that, we'll take a look at NAS 100. I didn't see anybody place any messages live, so I'm gonna pretend like no one is interested in being able to take a look at those aside from the ones that we end up taking a look at this morning. All right, so here we go. Don't need a strategy tester. Okay, so what is happening? That's okay. US 30 yesterday, we ended up talking about a trade that we could possibly be able to get into when the market ended up breaking the counter trend line break because it broke above this large consolidation area from legitimately almost a month at this particular point, where the resistance was at 13,450, the support was at 29,680. Since then, the market ended up breaking out of this overall area from a long-term position. There was a trade that I ended up placing out on October 7th. If you kept that order in, then you would have made money off of that movement yesterday, just from the pending order, or from that overnight trading. But I forgot to be able to leave that one in. At least I know I forgot to be able to leave that one in. But we've seen that there was a counter trend line break that we could be able to get into. Counter trend line break ended up getting in. We ended up placing an order just above 36.95. We end up saying that the market could get up to 31,050. From there, the market started to U-turn a little bit. I end up saying that if the market U-turned off the 15-minute, then go ahead and take profit. If you end up doing that, then you could have made about as much as somewhere around 100 and so points. It wasn't necessarily the greatest move in the world, but 100 points is pretty good when it comes down to just being able to make something out of nothing when it comes down to kind of missing when the counter trend line break actually happened. The full counter trend line break was about 200 points of movement. Since then, if you would have stayed into the market, it would have stopped you out on that move. So we're going to cancel out this trade. There's nothing to be able to do on that one anymore. But essentially what's happening is that the market ended up having a support at 13,385 and a resistance at 13,860. Now, because we're going block above block, meaning that, well, let me rephrase that. The market has not been building up like major consolidation points over the course of the last 5 days. It's just been a high, a low, and then keep on going. So the market is showing that it's really kind of trending at this particular point. Obviously, October, you typically see that. But I want to see how the market kind of reacts to 13,390. If the market ends up bouncing off of 13,390 and then showing a little bit of force to the upside, then we could see that the market could break above 13,850. The market breaks above 13,850, it'll be back in the middle of this consolidation that ended up happening from September 13th to September 22nd, and the overall resistance of that will be 31,300. I think that the market could get up to that position if the market does bounce, and then after that make that movement to the upside. But currently, right now, there's no trade to be able to take because the market's in the middle of consolidation. Obviously, y'all know that I don't like playing inside of consolidation. I will trade on the outside of it, and then after that, see how the market kind of moves from there. So staying away from that, but hopefully that makes sense. Same thing with NAS 100. NAS 100, we have a true resistance now. Market ended up hitting about 4 times right here, so I'm going to end up saying we want to be aggressive. We could say that, but I don't want to be aggressive. I'd rather be conservative and be true. The high volume notice right here. 13,330 will be the resistance. The support on this one end up being, I'm going to move this down just a little bit. Support will be at 11,030. So I do expect that the market possibly will fall down to 11,030 to 15 minutes in the sell zone. So we could see some more movement from there. I want to see how the market kind of reacts to this. If it pops up to the upside, then obviously we got a strategy 4 type of trade that you could be able to take a look at for being able to buy. If the market does fall down to this area, and then after that, look at being able to pop it back up to the upside. But overall, we're in the second day of this market kind of going within this overall range. I want to see how it kind of builds out first. So I probably won't be interested in being able to buy. I will be kind of interested in being able to see how the market kind of reacts first. I'm not going to place in a pending order yet. But if I was going to place a pending order, it'll end up being below 1125. And where could we go? If it breaks below 1125, then it could fall back down easily to right around that 10,900 area for that first falling movement. I'll probably look at something like this. So the stop loss will be above the last swing high that ended up happening off of that movement. And if it breaks to the upside, you have actually 2 positions that you can be able to get out of when it comes down to that. It will end up being 11,330 to right there 11,443. So 11,440 as your first take profit number. And then after that, obviously, if it breaks above that area, then that means it's breaking above this overall consolidated area, or it breaks above that overall, consolidated box. So it will break through a consolidation box, which means that it will probably end up breaking to the resistance of it. So somewhere around here as far as this movement. Both of those, I haven't placed in pending orders yet, but that is my idea overall, if that does happen. So I'm going to give it a little bit of room and kind of play itself out and kind of go from there. If you're going to go strategy 4, then strategy 4 means that you're buying at 1130. And 1130 the number, not 1130 the time. Um, okay, undo. And try to go after either that target or that target right there. You do that, especially if it bounces off, you can be a little bit more tighter with your stop loss or a little bit more loose with your stop loss, but they have a better risk reward factor off of that if that does happen. So once again, I'm not giving a direction on this one. Obviously, the moving average says that it is moving average says that it's bearish. The Don chain saying that it's saying that it's bearish. VWAP saying that it's bearish. I think that's just because the market's in consolidation. We do not have markets in the middle of a high volume node. Um, because it's in the middle of a high volume node, um, there's really no. I'm not trying to be aggressive off of this move. I want to see this market kind of react and kind of move before being able to truly make a decision on what happens. So there we go. You like what I end up doing? Please make sure that you end up clicking going. What's going on? What's going on, Peter? Uh, I'm pleased that you finished. Can you read for me, please? What do you mean by that, Peter? Peter, what do you mean by that? Hit me up real quick before I have to go. But Nas, just to recap, end up taking a trade on gold. Gold, we end up getting into 1634. Going after 1615 for the overall take profit. We're going basically that same position where we end up getting out before. Uh,
Just being so safe, Dad.
What are you talking about?
Dad, just being wrong out there.
Yep, say hey.
Hey. Where are you going?
No, we're about to go. Say see you later. Say see you later.
I'm just gonna see a desert tornado.
No, say see you later.
See you later.
I'm gonna let you close out.
I wanna see the desert tornado.
Nah, Dad gotta go work. But end up placing in a 1634 for to sale, getting out at 1615, stop loss 1648 when it comes down to gold. End up placing in a pending.
I wanna watch a desert tornado.
End up placing in a pending order on. End up placing in a pending order on U.S. oil. U.S. oil's order is at 84.30. If it does break above 84.30, take profit is at 86.57 and at 95, where we are potentially trying to be able to get out at. Stop loss will end up being 81.94. Other than that, every other position got pending orders are just kind of waiting, trying to see how the market's going to end up reacting. I like what I see off of NASDAQ if we can be able to get it once it ends up breaking out. But there's no order off of that yet. US 30, there's no order off of that yet as well. Everyone, if you like what I end up doing, please make sure that you end up clicking on and clicking on that boost button. Please be able to help out the community. Getting very close to being able to hit getting very close to being able to hit 1,000 when it comes down to the followers and people that are watching on when it comes down to the community. Once again, thank you, each and every person. Y'all end up making this very easy to keep on doing this in the morning and at the evenings when it comes down to that. Obviously, be able to join our community Discord. Remember, we end up saying when it comes down to the premium. When it comes down to the premium membership and everything else like that, we're trying to get everybody situated, prepared to be able to go through and try to get funded by a service trader, the prop firm. So we are going to end up starting to practice on that. And remember, the first 10 people that end up signing up for either the inner circle or either the elite end up getting the FX Skywalker automation system. So currently, right now, we are at Currently, right now, we're at 4 people, so there's 6 people left. So if you're interested in being able to pop in, there you go. There goes your opportunity. Like always, make sure that you end up planning your trade your plan. Everyone, y'all have a very good day, and let's make the most out of it. Hopefully, we'll see a green day today. Take it easy.